a little bit of an experiment. And so hopefully we'll get it all running very smoothly. Many of you have taken at least a class or two with me. Some of you have taken several. So you have a feel for kind of how I usually run classes. But this is, I think, going to be a little different because this is maybe a little more intimate group, which is kind of nice. But also, I haven't, at least today, I often come in with pages of notes and hand examples and things that I plan on getting to, which I don't always, I usually have a definitely more of a firm agenda with what I'm going to do for a class with a willingness to deviate. But right now, I actually think we want to keep this a little bit open. As I've said, this is your class, not mine. You've basically designed this class, and so we can really go whatever direction you want to go. We can change things up a little bit from what's on that syllabus. And then the main thing is, other than what Joanne has told me and documents that she sent to me, I don't have I'm still getting a feel for, not just so much what all of you have covered in the past at Ollie, but, how comfortable you are with those things too. So, I want to make sure that we are, that I'm not spending a lot of time on things that that you all don't want to spend a lot of time on because you're comfortable with it. On the other hand, if there are things that, and certainly I'm sure some of the things that we've had today based on, the matrix that you put together, there's, these are certainly things that you've covered. What I don't necessarily know is how comfortable you are with all of it. So that's kind of just to give us some context. So with that in mind, we are spending today talking about major suit openings, and mainly talking about our auctions where we have major suit fits that we diagnose early in the bidding. But certainly, if time allows, one of the things I've got on the syllabus is we may want to look at our force and no trump a little bit too. Maybe not all the ins and outs of that, because that can actually get very complicated. When I do my 2/1 class, I dedicate 1 week of the class, 1 2-hour class to forcing no trump, and have always felt like I had too much crammed in that 2 hours as it is. So, what I thought and hope will be useful for you is to, and that's what this handout that I put together is to try and simplify what we're doing with our major suit races and get yourselves to the right bid, or not the right bid, what you think is the best bid, and by the way, I assume so everybody is working off of that same matrix that you gave me, right, Joanne? Like everybody's, I assume, has a copy of that and references that.
Yeah. And also helped make it. Right.
All right. Wasn't all you. Huh?
It was a community effort.
So when I look at that, I say, okay, everything on here is very accurate. What I find though is that when you're looking at a big grid like that, it's a little overwhelming, and it feels like, gee, I have so much to memorize, and I feel like you will probably have an easier time getting all of your major suit raises straight if you can. If you can categorize your hand early on, and then from that, you can pick the best bid. And so, because this is something that we will that you will see throughout, yeah, I mean, it just comes up, almost anytime we're talking about bidding, is I want to be sure that we're all on the same page with terminology. And some of this will sound familiar to you because you maybe have seen it in other classes. But what we really want to make sure is that we're all on the same page with certainly these three. And we're talking here about responder. Your partner opens the bidding. Responder, which category does your hand fall into? Now, of course, down here at the bottom, responder, you may know from the moment your partner opens the bidding, because you have an opening hand as well, that you're going to go to game. So we've certainly got game forcing as a fourth classification. But in a way, I feel like that one is not an outlier, but certainly, we're developing more of a long range plan, if you will, for the game forcing. Because in these situations, a lot of times you can convey what you need to convey to partner with one bid, right? And always a little bit of flexibility, because I always want you to be able to use your judgment. But if we want to put point ranges. So if we're talking about a weak hand, we're talking about like 0 to 5. Maybe 6. But I think a lot of 6-point hands are getting into the territory where I would move them up into the next category. And I feel like it's important to emphasize this, just because I hear so many people talk about responding to their partner. They'll say, oh, well, my partner opened a spade and I had a weak hand, so I responded 2 spades. Well, that's not a weak hand, right? If you're responding 2 spades, your hand's better than weak. So we don't ever want you to use the term weak when we're talking about something that is more in the 6 to 9 range. I'll put 10 with a minus symbol.